You're watching KWQC TV6 Davenport, the station that cares for you. Live from the Quad Cities' #1 station for news, this is TV6 News at 11.
Your top story this midday, firefighters have had to battle the brutal elements this morning, fighting multiple fires. Thanks for watching Quad Cities Today at 11. I'm Kyle Keel. We continue to learn more about the fires that broke out in Rock Falls, Davenport, and Muscatine earlier this morning. Right now, we are taking a look at video from a fire that happened at More Tires in Rock Falls, Illinois. Officials say the initial call came in around 4:30 this morning. TV6 was on scene as crews worked to battle the massive blaze in the sub-zero temperatures. The police department says Route 30 is closed from McNeil Road to Melvin Road. They also say that due to the amount of water being used, some of the residents may experience discoloration in their water as crews work to put out that fire. Fire officials tell us there have been no reported injuries at this time, but the brutally cold temperatures are proving to be an obstacle for both the crews as well as the equipment.
Well, it definitely affects the equipment, because anytime the water's not flowing, then we have a problem with freezing, of course. The manpower has to deal with it as well, so we're trying to rotate crews, either the cabs of the truck, our warming center down here at Skybox, or crews back at the stations. Same thing with the equipment. If something freezes up, we rotate it back with a fresh piece of equipment, and we just keep doing that as things come up.
Multiple agencies responded to that fire. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Also this morning, Davenport firefighters were on scene of a house fire near 53rd and Division Street. Fire officials told our TV6 crew on the scene that a neighbor saw smoke coming from the house. Details are limited at this time, but southbound 53rd and Division is still blocked as the investigation into the fire continues. Northbound Division Street is still open. Just north of the fire on 53rd and Division, there was another fire that happened overnight. This time it was just behind the Menards near Brady Street. It happened around 3 o'clock earlier this morning. Davenport firefighters were on the scene of that fire as well. Now, we are working to get more details, but our crew on scene overnight saw smoke coming from the residential area behind the Menards. We are waiting to hear more information from the Davenport Police Department on that fire. Meanwhile, in Muscatine, the fire department there also battled below zero temperatures, putting out a house fire earlier this morning. It happened just after 1 o'clock in the 600 block of West 7th Street. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, but officials say extreme weather conditions did create challenge for the firefighters. A cause has yet to be determined, but according to Muscatine Fire, it does look like an accidental fire with damage estimated to be at $100,000. TV6 will continue to bring you more information on all of these fires as we learn more throughout the day. Well, first alert weather time. The firefighters obviously were battling the elements, as we heard from that firefighter in Rock Falls. But live look outside on our sky view shows lots of sunshine. But of course, we don't want to let that sunshine fool us, Teresa. No. It is still brutally cold. Even though we're kind of making progress, it's not much progress considering how low those temperatures are.
Indeed, yeah. And we continue our first alert day until noon today for much of the TV6 viewing area. Again, we expect to see temperatures actually reaching sub-zero range for this morning and into this afternoon, but a little bit of improvement there. -3 in Davenport, -1 in Moline, and looking at winds moving out of the west at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. That does create a wind chill of 24 below in Clinton and Davenport, -21 in Moline, 25 below in Dubuque. And again, that wind chill warning does remain in effect until noon for dangerous wind chills. We will also see the feels-like temperatures dropping back down below zero late tonight and into early Wednesday before rebounding back above zero for a change. So many locations will get a chance to see that. A wind chill advisory starts at noon today, continues until 9 a.m. Wednesday for wind chills ranging from -20 to -25. Right now, looking at clear skies all across the region, which should continue through much of the day. Later tonight, we'll start to see some clouds moving back into the weather picture as we head through the day on Wednesday. Temperatures actually getting to 2 above zero for a change. That's pretty good news, at least some improvement there. We're back below zero late tonight, and temperatures in the teens expected for tomorrow.
Now on to our Iowa Caucus coverage. Based on recent polls, the results of last night's caucus came as no surprise. Former President Donald Trump came out on top in Iowa. Trump received over 50% of the vote, followed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley. After the results were announced, each candidate had a message for Iowans as they head into the New Hampshire primaries.
So we're going to put America first. We're going to make America great again. Again, Iowa, we love you. You are going to, you just go out and buy larger tractors and more land. Don't worry about it.
You, because of your support, in spite of all of that they threw at us, everyone against us, we've got our ticket punched out of Iowa.
At one point in this campaign, there were 14 of us running. I was at 2% in the polls. But tonight, Iowa did what Iowa always does so well.
Finishing fourth was Vivek Ramaswamy, who has decided to end his campaign. He is now endorsing former President Donald Trump. As for the Democrats, their caucus looked a little different this year. Last night, TV6 was at their caucus location at Davenport North High School. This year, the Democrats will have a preference ballot requested by either mail or online. This means the Democrats are mailing out their ballots. Potential voters gathered to do some other business as well, including electing caucus chairs and delegates to the county convention. One potential voter expressed her thoughts on the new changes made to the Democrats' caucus system.
I think we're making progress because it was a little, too convoluted for everybody what was going on before. So I think we're coming into, 2024 now. We're going to get things, sped up and more organized here. Yeah, I'm great. I'm ready for it.
The results for the Democratic caucus won't be released until Super Tuesday, which is March 5th. While we just dealt with record snow here in the Quad Cities and are now dealing with a dangerous cold, we aren't alone. Severe winter weather is making an impact across a good chunk of the United States. NBC's Erin McLaughlin has the latest on the winter wallop from New York City.
Hey there, check this out. That is more than an inch of snow, and according to the National Weather Service, that means the streak is broken. New York City has not seen this much snow in more than 700 days, and city officials say they have a whole plan in place. If it reaches 2 inches, they have a record number of city workers on standby to plow the streets of New York City, plus the bike lanes simultaneously. Meanwhile, the storm system has already wreaked havoc down south, snow blanketing Nashville and Memphis, entire counties in Tennessee declaring a state of emergency, the snow reaching as far west as Oklahoma, and with millions of Americans subject to this intense Arctic blast. According to officials, at least 7 people have been killed, 5 more deaths suspected, and chaos created in the air as well. According to FlightAware, more than 1,000 flight cancellations so far today. Back to you.
Coming up next on Quad Cities Today at 11, the world of real estate is always evolving. When we come back, we meet with a local expert on what homeowners need to know.